Hello, everybody. My name is Finner, and in today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at the Elite Crossbow set, which adds two crossbows, both Ebony and Elven. Now, I know the Anniversary Edition added a bunch of other crossbow sets back in 2021, which is, God, 5 years ago at this point, which included Daedric, Glass, Nordic, Imperial, the whole 9 yards. But this was one of the early Creation Club mods, if you can call it that, but it was paid, as most Creation Club is. So we need to go to Ironback Hideout, which is over here, right between these trees. And there's a story, kind of a sad story, but a story nonetheless. So we just need to sneak on over, and hopefully we can get a sneakily deekily attack on these people. Get wrecked. You saw nothing. You saw absolutely nothing. She's going to investigate.
Guess I was just hearing things.
Oh, shit. Damn it, stop moving. Correct. Ooh, crack neck. Get wrecked.
What was that?
Goodbye. Alright. That has to do with another quest. But we need to come over here. So, let us read the note from Cragrash. That is such an orcish name if I ever did see it. To whomever finds this letter, hear my story. My name is Cragrash. I have been a hunter in these parts for the last 6 years. Once a week, I travel to Solitude to sell meat and skins. On one such trip, I spotted a collapsed figure by the roadside, slumped up against a log. I quickly realized that this was Antheris, a kind soul I would trade and travel with each winter. His skin was white as a sheet. His sunken face and bite marks on his neck and arms made it clear that this was the work of vampires. Antheris never deserved such a fate. I carried him to Solitude to raise the city guard. When I arrived, they acted with indifference and indifference as cold as the corpse I laid before them. My God. Even though I am fluent in English, sometimes I struggle to read things. They had seen this before, they said. They offered to bury him, but their interest in the matter ended there. It was then I decided that at night I would begin to hunt more dangerous game. I have slain over a dozen of the fanged wretches in the months since. I'd become quite proficient at the task. Until one night, I found a lone vampire prowling the woods. He stopped to rest, seemingly unable to catch his breath. Whether it was from thirst or exhaustion, I couldn't be sure. Still, such monsters deserve no pity. So I hid in the brush nearby, drew my crossbow, and lined up the killing shot. Suddenly, two of the devils pounced from both sides, clawing and biting. I had been led into a trap. I managed to escape. My wounds were grave. Worse, I knew that from the burning in my veins that I now had the illness that would soon consume me, turn me to one of them. So now, on what should be my final day as a mortal, I penned this letter. Walk to my favorite overlook south of the Thalmor Embassy to watch the morning sunrise of one last time, which is kind of interesting because when you succumb to vampirism, you would want to be inside a cave or something, which, at least he was aware and stuff. I now pass the torch to you, dear reader. Seek out my remains. Among my effects, you should have find a key. Open the cellar and take up arms I have stored there. Use them to keep travelers safe from the vampire menace, as I once did. So now we just need to activate that, and this is the quest journal. I found a letter pinned by Kragrash, the vampire hunter. While out on a hunt, he was wounded and contracted vampirism. On the day he would become a vampire, he went into the mountains to watch a final sunrise. He left his equipment in the cellar, which remains locked. The letter promised a key to his cellar. Should be among remains. Now, I'm not gonna that. So now we just gotta go all the way over to here. And go over here. And it's actually kind of a beautiful day, actually. It's very beautiful. Very foggy day. Kind of very very scenic. But here is his body. So here, so obviously he did succumb to vampirism and ended up dying. How sad. Now, I'm picking up the crossbow to compare things. And now we just need to come back over here. Now, we just open up the key. There we go. I'm actually gonna make a save because I do want to get a screenshot of here. Here is the elven crossbow. And the ebony crossbow, as a matter of fact. I am going to take a screenshot. No, not TFC. EM. No, stop it. Go. Alright, so when you actually look at crossbow, this does 57 damage. And that's the base crossbow. Now, for a long time, the enhanced dwarven crossbow was considered the better weapon. You can still get it, of course, but this does 69 damage. Nice. And this does 75. So obviously, comparing them, so the ebony crossbow is 75 and the elven crossbow is 69 damage, which is very good in my honest opinion. And honestly, it is very much a very good thing. So now I know there are guides that do a much better job at essentially doing all that. Now you can tell that he was probably an orc, I think. But yeah, okay, so like the silver greatsword. The greatsword is actually another rare weapon. One of the rare weapons in the game. There's only a few locations where it actually spawns. Like the Silver Hand have them, and I think there's some in Castle Volkahar when you're doing the quest. Now, base damage, it's 20, even though it says 35. And then it adds an extra 20 damage to undead, vampires, werewolves, etc. Anything basically not among the living. So lycanthropes, vampires, drug or anything like that, will basically be very much a thing of the well, you kind of get the idea, but essentially that is it. And yeah, so like I said, very short video. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. If you did enjoy this episode, yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. I know that I'm a little late to the party when it comes to Creation Club content. I was doing them for a while because Skyrim was Skyrim Anniversary Edition was still fresh in a lot of people's minds. However, as a wise person once said, there's no time like the present. So anyways, guys, I will catch you all later. And if you did enjoy this episode, let me know down in the comment section below. As I said, I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one. Peace.